not?
It's a half knockdown.
Yeah.
A tiebreaker.
Good left-handed blood from the mouth of Stevens. He's in big trouble. A left hook by Hughes hurt him. He's down.
No doubt about that one. Fatigue, his big enemy here.
Again, the mouthpiece, and again, they give Anthony Stevens all the time in the world. Are they stopping this fight?
They should take a point away here for what's happened. That's 3 times.
And Johnny Famia gives him yet another 10 seconds. Big right by Hughes. Again, the right by Hughes. This round is over, and Anthony Stevens, for him, Christmas came early. Let's listen in.
Nice on it. Very good. Deep breath. You want to continue? You sure? Sure. What round you got? 9. Let's go. Don't worry about that. 9th round. Couple more. You gotta hit this guy.
Well, Stevens had his way early in the round, coming through, landing the big shot, driving Hughes back. Hughes covering up for all he had. Tough moment here for Hughes, but the question being risen, did he punch himself out? Maybe the answer is yes. Late in the round, he's got nothing left, and the big right-hand bomb puts him down. No doubt about that one. He went down earlier in the round, no call.
That was the 3rd time Anthony Stevens had been down in this fight. In the 4th and 5th, he was also down, as Dave pointed out. Maybe he was down also in the 8th. James Hughes comes after him in the 9th round. This one is scheduled for 12, folks. Long way to go for Anthony Stevens, considering how hurt he is.
Well, the numbers in this case may be rendered useless for Stevens because of the knockdown. The one big shot in each case by Hughes, overcoming all of those numbers you see.
And even in round 8, remember the great start Stevens had in the round, but Hughes took everything back from him. Hughes going to the body, Stevens unable to get away from him, getting nailed with good right hands. And now Hughes can cut off the ring anytime he feels right.
And Leslie Bonanno was ready to stop this fight between rounds. Came very close to it, and Hughes, Stevens was able to talk his way into another round.
You've got Hughes ahead because of the 3 rounds with the knockdowns. He is going to town now on Anthony Stevens. It's for the USBA Welterweight Championship, 12 rounds, but it may not go. We're in the 9th. And James Hughes on the left of your screen has had Anthony Stevens in all kinds of trouble in recent rounds.
Stevens also cut nasty around his left eye. He'll have to contend with that too now.
The pressure from Hughes starting to get to him. He predicted this. He told us this morning, by the later rounds, Anthony Stevens will be tired and I'll get to him.
And what he has to get a lot of credit for is sticking with that plan, even though the early rounds were not for him. He came in, he was getting hit, but he stayed that way, and as soon as Stevens slowed down, then Hughes was right on top of it. We've seen fighters go out of their game plans when they don't work early, and they pay a price.
Now, Hughes is not throwing as many punches as he did before, but he's throwing a lot more than Stevens is this round.
And he is, as you said, cutting off the ring at will. There's absolutely no problem for him. And every time he cuts off the ring, a light's going on for Hughes. I can punch, I can have this fight right where I want it.
One of those left hooks will get in like they did in the 8th round that helped knock down Anthony Stevens. Stevens doing nothing offensively. Oh, huge right uppercut.
And it's almost becoming target practice for Hughes, and that's dangerous when you're in against the power puncher.
Hughes has 15 KOs in 19 fights. He can punch. Another big round for James Hughes with 2 left. Can Anthony Stevens survive? That's becoming an important question. Well, James Hughes came here the underdog from Mobile, Alabama. Stevens dismissed him. He's not doing it now.
The big uppercut there and the shot moving back from Hughes. Tremendous shot there, just typical of how close he can get.
Stevens lands a good left hook as he's going backwards here in round 10. Those have been few and far between lately. We are in round 10. It's scheduled for 12. Anthony Stevens on the right of your screen has been down 3 times, in the 4th, the 5th, and in the 9th. In the 8th round, he is the champion, but right now, James Hughes is taking it to him. Good right by Hughes.
There the 9th round shot for Hughes, 39-11, and he outpunched Stevens 30-1 in the power punch department.
Hughes is using his jab, Dave, to work his way in very effectively.
Very dangerous when he can get that weapon going when he's already a power puncher. Stevens has been on spaghetti legs really since round 5. And more spaghetti legs.
That right hand really hurt him. They might think about stopping this pretty soon if Anthony Stevens gets hurt some more.
He's not even trying to get out of the corner. He doesn't have the stamina.
He has shown great resiliency, Stevens, before he's getting nailed with some big shots. Look at him try and punch back, though. This crowd kind of stunned at the moment. This was kind of he spits the mouthpiece out, Anthony Stevens. Now, if they have to stop this again, they should take a point away from Stevens.
We made the point earlier. It's already been 3 times, and they will at the first convenient break in the action, which is what you're supposed to do for safety. But fighters should be penalized once in a while for doing it deliberately, and the other fighter should be rewarded for knocking the mouthpiece out 4 times.
Johnny Familia hasn't even seen if the mouthpiece is out, though. He hasn't even thought about doing anything.
He still hasn't found it. Well, he couldn't find that one. He missed it.
Yeah, and just a moment ago, you stepped on the mouthpiece. Now here comes Stevens back a little bit. Not much on those punches. Again in this round, Anthony Stevens has been whacked and hurt. He's fighting without a mouthpiece, remember. And maybe Hughes is getting tired right now because Stevens is taking it to a big right by Stevens. Could Hughes be hurt?
Or has Hughes run out of gas too? They take turns being the one with the most stamina.
Good jab by Hughes as Stevens has his way here toward the end of round 10. It is scheduled for 12. Oh my, big right hand. That one hurt Stevens again.
Without a mouthpiece in too. Now that's how a broken jaw can happen.
Johnny Familia, the referee, has failed here to find the fact that the mouthpiece is out of Anthony Stevens. He should be stopping the hand. Oh, right hand by Hughes hurts him after Stevens lands a good right. It's been a close second half of the round here in round 10. Well, it ain't over yet. Anthony Stevens says, don't count me out. I got something left. He gets stuck on the rope. We'll be back. Don't go anywhere.
And Stevens doing some of his better work toward the end of the round, and there it gets cut off as the round concludes. And back to the corners they go for this slugfest to continue.
And Anthony Stevens looking so fatigued there at the end of the round. Just dragging himself back to the corner. He had a good second part of that round, though. Oh, there you are. Look at it. Even though Hughes hurt him, look what Stevens landed.
So now this is the dilemma the judges will have. 50-34 in volume, or... Well, it may be academic soon.
The 4th knockdown of this fight. Stevens has been down 4 times. Can you win a fight in which you've been down 4 times?
I don't know if it's ever been done. By modern scoring, that's 4 extra rounds you're losing.
Oh, he's wobbly. If Hughes can get to him, Anthony Stevens is gone in this fight. But then I've said that 4 or 5 times. You've got Hughes ahead. It may be academic. He is going after Anthony Stevens.
And he should fight like he wants to make it academic because you never know what's going to happen. He's got the knockdown, but he's on the road, and you never know how the judges will see some of these rounds.
Well, so far it should be painfully obvious to Hughes. He ain't getting any breaks here. Good right hand by Hughes. They both ran good shots, but it's Stevens that's sent backwards. How is Anthony Stevens fighting back at this point?
He's got a tremendous amount of resilience. He's got the title. He's trying to fight with the confidence of a champion. And once he got past the first couple knockdowns, sort of became numb to them.
Those are 2 tired men. We're in the 11th round. It is scheduled for 12. Anthony Stevens doing everything humanly possible to defend his USPA welterweight championship. He has been under assault for 11 rounds by James Hughes.
When do you see 4 knockdowns in a fight when they're still going toe-to-toe in round 11?
And in some ways, the issue's still in doubt.
Absolutely, because Stevens had the early edge in this fight, and Hughes was trying to make up ground.
Anthony Stevens punching more now, but boy, he is wobbling. Well, we saw, you and I did the Johnny Tapia-Henry Martinez fight in Albuquerque. I didn't think anything could even approach that. This is pretty close.
This has been an emotional, intriguing battle, and again, when you make fights with hometown favorites and the crowd comes out, it's really an adrenaline-filled atmosphere.
Again, the mouthpiece goes out of Anthony Stevens. Stevens drives Hughes back. He's made another comeback in another round in which he was knocked down. Wow.